Cheers, boys.
Cheers. How we doing?
Good.
What's up, guys?
Did you not take a drink?
I know.
I'm so nervous. How do I drink a beer?
Have to give your way.
I know, dude, it's bad. All right, so today on our episode, we got our buddy Grant. He came from WSU. We met him over there.
Yep.
Grant what?
Dude. Thomas.
Grant Thomas?
Yeah.
Christian. Nice to meet you, boss.
You guys can find him on Instagram. We'll tag your profile down below.
Yeah, Grant Thomas 90. If you want to see me shooting ducks and skiing down mountains.
Flexing muscles.
Yeah, that too.
That's what's up. All right, well, we're going to jump right into it. Do you believe aliens are real?
Fuck yeah. If you don't believe aliens and Bigfoot, those two.
Okay.
You're out there.
Did you learn that on Joe Rogan?
No, so my dad, he's actually a big time Bigfoot believer. Like you go
Does he
into,
hunt him?
well, he tries to. Well, he has these Bigfoot posters out in our barn and everything. Yeah, he's Bigfoot's real.
Yeah.
Well, he's also he was an Eagle Scout growing up, and so he was telling me that he spent more nights underneath the stars and everything than I probably ever will. And he said he's seen some wacky shit out there. And
Right.
I'm like, that'd be scary. Run into a 10-foot hairy gorilla out in the middle of the woods.
Do you know,
Go ahead, no,
do you know
go
who
for it.
Nelk is?
Milk.
Nelk, N-E-L-K.
I've heard of that. Yeah.
So they have it's just like this group, and they just it's like the full send. Have you heard that?
Yeah.
So that's like their brand, but they do a bunch of pranks and shit, and they actually,
I know you're talking about.
they had one with a Bigfoot hunter, and I did not realize how, granted they had like the Bigfoot hunting like TV show and everything.
Yeah.
But they actually just went into depth of like going on like an actual adventure with this guy who spent like his whole life looking for him, and I was kind of shocked.
I just thought about that and I couldn't remember where it was, but
Yeah.
continue. Sorry.
I was shocked at like how seriously people take it, but then I'm like, okay, well I seriously take aliens are real, so I guess it's just like different viewpoints. But it's there's some crazy fuckers out there that are like, you never see them and you're never gonna see them, but I've seen them a few times. You're like, that doesn't make sense, but I mean,
Well,
here we are.
I was on just scrolling through the internet the other day, and I came across this video, and they're like, it was like all these rednecks. They're just like, Bigfoot lives matter. I'm like, oh, here we go.
Here we go.
It was a montage of like, these guys must have been on shrooms or something. I was just like waiting to see my dad pop up. Fuck yeah, he's real. And I'm like, they were like, they showed this one guy that was like out in the woods with like the night vision on and everything. He was like trying to call out to Bigfoot. I'm like, that guy, he's out there.
I wonder how many hunters see them when they're just on drugs.
I would
They're
say
just tripping nuts.
99.5%.
Yeah.
Yeah, tripping shrooms, out going for an elk, and then a bear walks by, and then, oh shit, that's Bigfoot.
People were like, oh, I saw him, but I was also sleep deprived and on methamphetamines. It's like, okay, well, did you see him?
Did you really see him?
No, yeah, I feel that.
Well, dude, maybe if we're bored one weekend, we can fucking look some shit up. I'm sure they got some in Snoqualmie Pass, so
Yeah.
I've never
we
been.
can go search.
Oh,
I've never been to Snoqualmie Pass,
Oh,
and
really?
I've also never been hunting
He's
for
from
Bigfoot.
Portland.
Oh, okay, so
Yeah.
I'm actually from Snoqualmie.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
Yeah, there's one thing that we can do. We can go up this. So there's National Forest Trail. We call it County Line. It connects. What was it, Snoqualmie or North Bend, all the way up to Monroe.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Oh, so it's north. Snoqualmie's
yeah.
north. I don't even know where it is on a map.
East.
Oh, okay.
You take I-90, you'll find it.
Gotcha. Okay.
But you take this thing called County Line, and I think it's like 55 to 70 miles long or something in that range, and it spits you out on Highway 2.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
You speaking about long roads, I'll go fishing in Alaska with my dad, and we went to Yakutat, and we were checking out this, it's called the Dangerous River, and it's this gravel road that's super long. I ended up looking up, actually, let's see if I can find it, but it was like 100 miles long, but no turns. It was
Just
completely straight, and like sometimes you'll come across like a clear cut, and you'll see like some moose out there and everything, which is sick, but I was just like, if, per se, Bigfoot exists, I'm sure he's fucking hiding in Alaska.
Oh, he's out there.
There's enough room up
You
there
gotta
for
think
him.
about like Alaska, the size of Montana and everything, all that
Yeah.
forest out in Idaho. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that like there's probably a lot of areas where no man has ever set foot
Right.
before.
That kind of makes me think about, off topic here,
Mm-hmm.
that kind of makes me think about how I think it was like 2009, there was a tsunami in Taiwan or something of the sort,
Yeah.
and they started getting washed up fish and squids that they'd never even seen or heard of
Mhm.
before. So I do think in that sense, that shit you don't know until you know.
Well,
There's a lot of weird shit out
I
there.
will say what scares me more than aliens out there is what's in the ocean.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. The ocean is a scary fucking place.
Isn't like 5% only like
Yeah,
been searched or some
exactly.
ridiculous
Yeah, there's
number?
fish that live places where if we went there, our bones would just snap in half. They would just
Get
fucking
compressed.
they would get they would mush.
Mm.
We'd be mush in places where fucking fish are.
Yeah.
And we're intelligent beings, dude. I don't believe it.
What? Have you
I mean,
ever-
we're intelligent beings.
Have
you know
you,
what I'm
have you guys ever caught like a yellow eye or like any deep sea fish before?
saying? Have not.
Yeah. So when you're bringing up these yellow eye they're like 300 feet down, and so when you're bringing them up, their eyes pop out of their head and their tongue pops out.
Really?
Of
Because
their
of the pressure.
Because of the pressure. And so when if you like caught too many, you actually accidentally grab one, to get it back down, you have to put like a hook on its mouth with this contraption that measures the pressure.
Yeah.
And then so when you put like a lead ball on it, and drops it all the way down, and then it releases it back at its pressure. Because if you just try and throw it,
Toss it back in?
it literally floats on the water.
Yeah,
It's
you
like,
have to
dude, I can't
actually-
live here.
Yeah.
You have
And
to
then
like let
seagulls
it
start
get
picking
down.
at it. You're like, ah, shit.
You're like, oh, I'm kind of a shitty person. That shit was kind of like Nat Geo.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember when I first caught one though. What are those fucking redfish? It's like the same scenario. I can't think of what it is, but
It's on the tip of my tongue.
they're deep. I don't even deep redfish. I don't know how it's gonna work out. But that's the same thing. Whenever we ended up,
Deep water redfish.
well, I don't think it's that.
You're probably thinking of a yellow eye, to be honest.
I know what
What
you're
is it,
talking
yellow
about.
eye?
Deep
Yeah,
water,
yellow eye.
redfish. You're
Yeah,
talking about
yeah.
that one time a
Oh
month.
yeah,
Yellow
straight
eye,
up.
yellow eye rockfish.
Yeah. So when I caught one, I remember the first time I was like, "That's fucking sick." I went to touch it, and they're like, "Fuck no, don't touch it." And I was like, "Oh my god!" And then they like brought that pole down, and actually like dropped it at
Yeah.
a specific speed too, because like the pressure was
Yeah.
just fucking blow it up, and I was
Mhm.
like, "Oh my god, okay." But they get some. These actually get to be a decent fucking size.
Oh, I got a picture. I'll show you guys after. My buddy Logan.
Can you eat these?
Oh yeah, they're great eating.
Really?
They're like they call it like a poor man's lobster or whatever. Oh, yeah.
Crab.
Yeah, seriously. But my buddy Logan, he's a captain for a charter boat up there, and he caught this yellow eye. I'm not kidding you. It's like someone flushed a goldfish down a toilet next to a radioactive facility. He was holding it, and it was like out to here, like
Jesus.
that. It was.
You're like,
crazy.
what the fuck is
Oh,
this?
well,
Did you know before you saw that fish? Did you know it? That kind of fish was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
Because I think it was up there 3 years ago, probably going on 4 this summer. And first fish of the day, I catch a 90-pound halibut. And that's like from I was holding it up here, and it was like almost.
And that takes some strength.
Yeah. Oh,
to
that
gab.
thing kicked my ass every way getting into the boat. Last fish of the day. Now my dad's friend Scott, he caught a 227-pound halibut. That thing. Its head was over here and its tail was like past you, and we brought it in the boat and it was just going boom, boom.
Wait, did you guys keep it?
Oh yeah.
Because I was gonna say when I was in Alaska, we went halibut fishing.
What?
I caught like 115, and they said that the bigger they are, sometimes the
Yeah.
meat's never that good. So they
That's
actually
true.
majority of them they let them go. But I guess it kind of
You got
depends
a
on.
115-pounder that said throw it back.
No. I thought I was like, oh, okay, like this kind of sick. Like, yeah, it's just like right at the limit. Usually we'll throw them back like 120, 130, and I was like, why do you throw them back? And they're like, just because the meat's not that good, you might as well just like get something else. And I was like, okay, but I don't know if I'd rather have like
A
good
shit
meat
ton
of
of
like
okay
a
fish.
60-pound halibut or
Yeah.
like okay meat for 250 pounds.
Are
I'm
you
like,
selling it?
Yeah. So I'm
Well,
like, I don't
I
know.
don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Part of the reason that you want to catch these big ones is so that the smaller ones can come up and grow up to be that
Right,
size,
yeah,
too.
of course.
Because like these halibut, they will eat anything that moves.
Right.
And 2 weeks after we left, the same group of guys up there, they pulled up a 330-pounder.
Jesus
And
Christ.
the captain Hunter, he caught that one, and he has it. They have it strung up on this hook back at J-Dock, and Hunter is on it, riding it like a freaking cowboy.
Riding the bolts like tail slapping.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then DJ hopped on it too, and
DJ.
and then
DJ Khaled?
Huh?
You said DJ like Khaled?
Oh no, the DJ, he's Logan's brother.
Okay.
And DJ hops on it too, and the amount of weight that was on it, it bends the hook down, and like it falls
Jesus.
off, and the guy that
Dude.
runs J-Dock was like freaking pissed. Yeah.
That'd be a tumultuous
Yeah.
trip back in is what it would be.
Yeah,
You just fucking be pissed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Seeing red.
These yellow rockfish, they live up to 114 to 120 years.
Yeah.
That's fucking
No,
bizarre.
It's yeah, and then one of the deckhands, Jesse, I think he's about to be a captain up there. He's like an expert in these fish.
Yeah.
So whenever you're pulling him up, he can just like grab it, look at it. Yeah, it's like 80 years old. You're like, what?
Yeah. Like a tree stump. He's like, you just see it, and you just kind of know.
Do you read fish?
Yeah.
Well, no, he's one of those guys that like in the summer he's doing charter fishing.
Yeah.
And in the wintertime he's
This
doing
is live.
He's doing commercial fishing.
Yeah.
So he's been on the farthest most point of Alaska before, and like he's done it all. But he's a very interesting guy. But no, he knows a lot about these rockfish.
What drives someone to do that, like passion-wise? Like, do you have anything in your life that makes you like that kind of drive?
Dude,
For me, dude, that's tough.
every time I've been up to Alaska, I've had my mind blown in a different freaking way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alaska's sick, dude.
Like I saw this moose one time up in Denali, and we were taking like this 8-hour like bus trip into Denali. It's like the one way you can actually go up into Denali because they don't want like a bunch of cars going up there scaring
Right.
out the wildlife. And 5 minutes in, our driver goes like, "All right, guys, look out to your left, about 100 yards. You're going to see this trophy bull moose, and this thing's laying down, and his rack is like all the way out here,
Massive.
like the size of my arms." And his head turns and looks at us, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
Like, this is a big boy.
I was the size of a minivan. Like,
Jesus
bigger.
Christ.
Yeah.
Dude, there's a
Crazy.
video that's surfacing on Instagram not too long ago. It was a moose running through probably had to be like 6 feet of snow, 5 feet of snow, and he is fucking
Moving.
cooking. And I'm like, I feel like people sometimes underestimate moose and the ability of.
They really do.
Definitely do.
Moose kill more people in Alaska than grizzly bears do.
No shit.
They're fucking huge.
Oh, they're aggressive too.
Yeah.
The females are extremely aggressive. If a female sees you with her baby, she'll be 100 yards out.
Oh,
She'll start going after you. And
What?
Bears. I want to say bears are smarter intellectually, so they see humans. They know, I'm probably gonna die.
Yeah.
And so they'll see humans and they'll kind of turn the opposite way unless they're very hungry. Because
Right.
they don't want to eat us because we're bony.
Right.
So
Right.
they go after like seals. They'll go after
Right.
fish, more fatty animals,
Mhm.
but they don't want to go after us. But yeah.
Yeah, I feel like bears too. If you come across like a grizzly bear or a black bear, whatever it may be, they're actually more, I think, intimidated obviously by humans. But like when you shoot, pop some rounds in the air, they actually most of the time run off. And moose, like they just are unfazed, and they're like, "Don't fuck with my kid" or whatever, and they'll just go crazy.
I knew moose were aggressive, and also obviously the size of them just from tapestries and shit. Like, I've never seen a moose in person. I don't plan to either.
Well,
It's cool to see them in person. It's
I mean, like maybe
breathtaking, but
maybe not like in a adverse situation. I'm saying.
Oh yeah. Well, if you ever go to Alaska in the Anchorage airport, they have a taxidermy moose. It's like right in the middle of the airport. It's like I'm 6'2". And
What airport?
Anchorage.
Anchorage.
Yeah, it's like right in the middle of the airport. It's not hard to find. And you go up to this thing, and I'm 6'2", and I went up to like the bottom of its shoulder.
Yeah.
You're like,
They're massive,
well,
dude.
Well, there's also they have a world record Kodiak brown bear. That thing stands like 13 feet tall, and then they have 2 world record polar bears, and it's 12 and 14 feet tall. And like you stand up next to these things, and you're like, holy shit! Like I don't care what gun.
That's
you
fucking
have.
massive.
I don't care what gun you have. You can have the most badass gun in the world. Save one bullet for yourself. Like,
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah.
So what do you do in a situation? Sorry, I think we're diving pretty deep in this, but I'm
Yeah,
fucking
about
curious,
it.
Joe. So, what the fuck do you do then if you see a polar bear and like say it's in the water and you just come up on it, like you know?
Polar
say-
bear or just a grizzly bear?
Okay, just the most aggressive type of bear. I'm assuming
Okay.
grizzly bear because like
Yeah,
you're more.
polar bears.
Polar bears, yeah.
More-
I think there's a rare occurrence to.
Yeah, you're not gonna come across
them.
polar bears. So I'm
You're,
saying,
you're more likely to come across a grizzly.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you do? You shit
Dig
yourself?
loud.
I know that people say climb. I've heard climb trees. Don't freak out.
Yeah, no, you definitely want to stay calm. But a couple of years back, one of my dad's buddy, they own I'd call it a shack because it's literally a shack on the Kenai River. And one of their neighbors was walking from one cabin to another. It's like on a dirt road and everything. And he has a 454 Casull on him. So 454 Casull, for the handgun, the barrel size is like that.
Right. 40.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
big gun. And
I've shot guns. Just never
Yeah.
hunted really.
Yeah.
I mean, I've hunted, but not like a lot.
the Casull's a badass. And so he's walking down this road, and he hears a twig snap behind him. And a 1,500-pound grizzly bear is just motoring towards him, like hungry.
Trees big.
Just oh god! And he has 6 rounds in his gun. Unloads 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The bear comes sliding to his feet, starts trying to get up after him. He goes to cap the thing, and his gun jams on the 6th shot, and it bleeds out right at his feet. and he's just like, holy Christ.
Did you see that shit on Instagram?
What?
Some guy got his fucking face mauled off, and he literally. I gotta find
You
it.
gotta find it. It's crazy.
So we'll put up a picture
Yeah.
that coincides with this.
It's this guy's face. He has the entire exterior of his face ripped off, and it's hanging down.
So he recovered, but
yeah, he had the entire exterior of his face ripped off.
Oh, bro.
You can still see his eye, and he's
lived?
talking. Oh yeah, he lived. He was talking.
dude,
in
he
the video.
talked out.
How?
Of it. I have no idea.
He must have been in so much shock. But
He had so much adrenaline
No
pumping.
way you don't lose enough blood to die.
Oh yeah.
Dude, and he looks like this now. I mean, not good, but I'm saying like that's
What?
a big ass fucking.
Compared to what he was at,
Yeah.
No,
and that's only going to improve over time too.
I saw that, and I
More
sent
surgeries.
that to my buddy Logan, and Logan was like, "No, that happened." I'm like, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, that's real."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Holy fuck, man!"
Well, dude, like take it. So like a
This is in
grizzly
Alaska.
bear,
Yeah.
a male grizzly bear can get like
Staying my ass at the crib.
a male
don't
grizzly
blame
bear
him.
can get like 600 pounds, and
I
like a
get
male
it.
moose can be 1,600 pounds.
Gotcha.
So I think even though I think moose can be a little bit dumber, like intellectually,
Just
as
different.
opposed to grizzly bears, I feel like they know a whole lot of other outside factors can fuck with them because they're 1,600 fucking pounds,
Yeah.
and they kind of know their place. But
Like we're fucking massive.
I don't know.
I will run you the fuck over.
Dude, but this is insane. I honestly, the first thing I think about is like, how much were his medical bills? Because
good.
that's got to be fucking yeah. I just keep pulling it up.
Better have good insurance, because I mean, he probably had to go through. I
That
don't
was,
know how much.
this was in Colorado.
Oh
Was
yeah.
it Colorado?
This is what the website says. I don't know. I think
Wes Perkins is from Alaska.
following a story from Anchorage Daily News. I don't know. Oh,
Follow the story from the Anchorage Daily News.
yeah. So I don't know why
They're
he'd be
reporting
in
on it.
Colorado.
I feel like someone in Colorado will count that story first.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, he
if
said
it weren't Colorado.
he said he had to dig stuff out of his airway to breathe. If I was unconscious, I would have died. Also, as long as I lay still just right, I was able to keep my airway open. I could not move my face sideways or my airway would close. I know if I lost consciousness, I'd probably die, so I stayed alert all the way to Nome, and I could squeeze the hands of my two partners and ask me questions. That dude...
Time out. If you're saying the way you're breathing is through an airway, that sounds like a bad day.
This dude
Yeah.
deserves a fucking medal.
My airway,
Medal of badassery, man.
dude.
Yeah.
What is your airway even? What is he even referencing? He's just like, oh, I could feel it come out of my fucking
They
throat.
probably had to like reach into his face, I guess, and pull out. I don't know.
Can you-
Like a stick maybe? Like,
That's
jeez.
fucking... that blows my mind.
There's no way you
so-
can see at that point.
I think he could.
He had one eye.
I know, but it doesn't mean it's fucking. I think a retina may be attached in there. I think
Yeah.
something. But that eye, dude. But you can see like how his brain's protected. Okay, this is graphic. We need to.
We're not showing this,
Yeah.
but I'm saying that
You
also
should show it. Let people know what's out.
that also
You guys are not pussies.
also shows you how thick your skin is though too. Like
Yeah.
you wouldn't think it's gonna be. I mean, that looks significantly thicker than you would ever
That's
imagine.
thick as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
You get like 7 layers of skin.
Yeah.
pretty much, this guy you could probably shoot him in the head. He'd probably survive. I think so.
I think so too.
At
He's
this point.
a badass old man. I mean,
know.
he survived a grizzly bear attack and had his face ripped apart.
Do you think he gets more pussy now or before?
You know, chicks probably walk up to him at the bar and be like, "What happened to your face?" Got in a fight with a grizzly bear, and he's gone.
See, I think that whole idea of someone does something noble, so then they get more tail. I'm gonna say false, but I think 1 out of like every 5 or 6 that would be like think they're gonna do that, but like that's an old crusty man with fucked up eyes. There's gonna be that one bitch that's like,
I'm into that.
I'm into that shit. I like
How many
it.
people hear that though, and they're like, "All right, quit fucking around. What'd you really do?" And they're like,
That's what I'm
"Let me show you a
saying.
picture."
Maybe some are gonna get after it.
Mm.
I respect it.
Dude, yeah. Alaska, wild freaking place.
I'm about to go back. I think next year
Nice.
to Prince of Wales, and
Oh, I know where that is.
my dad used to go with my grandpa and his dad for like 13 years before he had my sisters and I. And so now we'll finally get to go back, and he's stoked about. Dude, but this place in Yakutat we stayed at, dude, craziest fucking cabin. Had a walk-in freezer inside the cabin. I mean, usually when you think going to Alaska, you're like not expecting a whole lot
Yeah.
in the cabin scene. And this thing had a walk-in freezer that stored so much fucking food. Had a fish cleaning station inside. Had like a what's that room called in a house where you walk in? There's like 2 doors. So like from the outside you walk a coat room or something.
Mudroom?
Mudroom.
Yeah.
Had like a fat fucking mudroom. But you go down there, just fucking
Mudrooms are
reeks.
clutch.
Yeah.
And we I ended up going to the Juneau Airport, and Juneau Airport was cool because they had like the normal fucking runway, but then up to the right of it, they had like a float plane runway and just had all these planes lined up. And I think if you ever have the chance, you should go on a float plane because those things are badass.
What's a float plane?
It's like the things that take off right here.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been in a couple up there. We went to. Do you guys know who Dick?
You know one?
Actually, good. Yeah, grab another one.
Okay.
Some shits. Do you guys know who Dick Prinicky is?
I do from that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's right. We talked about that.
Yeah.
So I went up to this guy Dick Prinicky. He was like in the 50s or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
He total wild man. He wanted to go like to this really remote part of Alaska. I'm talking like 50 miles from any like city.
Yeah.
And so he lived on this lake for like 30 years and would have his supplies flown in like it was like twice a year or something like that. And
the TV too.
and so you can actually, the National Forest Service actually built like a couple cabins out there, so you can actually go out there and check out his cabin. He was a short dude too, so I went and looked at his cabin and it was like the door was up to like my nose and stuff.
Yeah, some short man lives here or woman.
But we were going out, and the guy that was flying the float plane, this guy was an ex-Vietnam pilot, so he was already a little wacky, and he had this big belt that said "Jesus is Lord." I'm like, this guy's not afraid to die. And so we're circling the lake where Dick Prinicky's cabin is, and it's all fogged in. You can't see shit. And he's like, "Well, I've done this enough." He goes, "Meow," and I'm sitting there, I'm like, "Oh."
Right, here goes.
And we just come through the clouds, land. It's no big deal. And so the same guy picks us up like probably about like 2 or 3 days later, and we're gonna pick up some other people up at this other cabin. And he knows where he's going really well. And I swear to God, I thought he was about to just kill us all by flying into the side of this mountain. And we're flying, we're getting super close, and then he just drops down into this valley. And I felt my stomach go up in my mouth and everything, and I was just like,
what? How many of you were in the plane? I missed it.
In the first plane, there was 6 of us, and then in the second plane there was like 8 to 10 of us. So the second plane was a lot bigger. First plane was way smaller.
See, I'm one of those people that I like my feet on the ground.
Oh, I do too.
You know? So that's why I'm not really like a water sports guy, because I'm like, I'll pick the stability most times.
It's like...
this is Dick Prenicky. This is what he fucking lived in for years.
Yeah.
Fucking whole life.
Long
Damn.
time.
No, dude, I think they said like the nearest road is like hundreds of miles away.
Yeah.
Nearest town's like 200 miles away. He's just by himself.
How does he sustain?
He had supplies dropped into him like once or twice.
Oh,
a
okay,
year.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and then he would also hunt and everything, and trap and all that stuff.
Right.
There are stories of him opening up his door because he would like be cooking and everything, so these bears would be smelling all his food.
Right.
Many times he would open up the door and there'd be a grizzly bear sitting right outside of his door, and he would just toss him bits of food and be like, "All right, get out of here now." he had names for the bears and stuff because he was around them so much. Do
you watch that TV show Alone?
Couldn't do it.
I have heard of it. It's where they drop those people off in Alaska and they have to survive.
Dude, there's this one guy who is from like Siberia, and he lived with the Evenki tribe in like the harshest fucking winter. I think it's like the harshest place during the winter time. And anyway, so like he came in
desolate out there.
Yeah, he came into this shit knowing he was gonna fucking win because he's just the dude's badass. And so he ended up killing I think it was a bear. I can't remember exactly. I think it was a bear though. And bear fat's very valuable because you can render it down, and like when you're out there in the woods, fat goes a long way. And so I can't think of what it was, but he made this like tall tower and put all the meat on top, and then wolves kept taking it. So then he set up like a trap or like a noise barrier so that when these wolves came in to get his fat, he would know when they're there. Ended up like his gun. No, I don't think he had a gun. He had a hatchet and like a bow and arrow, and shot it with the bow and arrow, and it ran into the bushes. And this motherfucker jumped into the bushes with a hatchet and fucking destroyed this wolf with a hatchet. I was like, that's a fucking solid move. I was like, that dude's a fucking man right there.
Wolves are certified killers.
Yeah.
What year was this?
This was like 2 years ago.
Really? 18. Dude, you should have got that shit on camera, dog. We could remake that and make millions of dollars in a film. I think they made a movie about that one.
Do you want to be the wolf?
Dude, I mean, fuck it.
No, I mean they had it.
It's Siberia, so I don't know how many people of my complexion were out there at that time, but I mean, I'll do it. I'll wear whiteface.
Hey, that's racist.
I'm half white.
Oh, this is what it was. It was like cash. So they put it up there so that they couldn't climb up there. But they have, I mean, there's so much other shit out there that can climb up there and like take that shit out. But
People are super like innovative when they have to be, especially.
Oh, yeah. No,
like
you'd
I don't.
be surprised.
I mean,
dude, you gotta think
I'm
about
interested in that part of like nature, but like I'd rather hear stories than go out there. But it's cool as fuck though.
Mhm.
It is.
Yeah, it's definitely.
I do respect it.
It's definitely something I'm starting to get more into, especially with like the whole COVID thing and all that stuff right now.
I'd rather hear stories.
We're talking about COVID, you fucking monster.
I know. I'm
Jesus.
Okay.
With all the
I'm
COVID
just-
stuff right now, I'm trying to like relearn, like trying to get a lot better at hunting and everything. Because I'm just like in
Right.
the back of my mind, what if doomsday comes and just like society's fucked? Like, how are you gonna put food on the table? Like straight up, like
Yeah,
People would croak.
that's a
No one would
reality.
know they're doing anything.
it's a straight reality.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm trying to get trying to bag a deer next year and try to bag an elk next year too. And it's it'll fill the freezer and all that, but it's also just I want to know that I can do it.
Right.
And it's a lot of people think that you can just go walk out in the woods, find an elk, and shoot it, but it's way harder than that.
Yeah, no, that's true. But on the flip side of that, okay, I feel like I'm just shitting on this whole concept, and also first and foremost, I respect it because I'm not so sure how I would do in that situation. But I mean, I grew up in a city, so. But at the same time, I like to kind of try to traverse in both like areas, but you know, it's all about time and effort, and it's expensive too.
It is
and I feel
very
like that's always
expensive.
why I've never been disinterested in like learning or like going camping or like well, going camping, but hunting.
Yeah.
I have no one to go with. Like no one in my family's gonna do that, so it's like just a weird thing to get into.
If you guys want to come scout with me this summer, you guys are more than welcome.
Dude, I'm down.
But it's no, you're right. You're definitely right about the expensive part. It's one of those things where it's like it's super expensive up front, but once you're into it, it's like you got to pay for your tag every year. I guess.
Right.
Yeah. But it's
I like fishing. Like I prefer fishing.
yeah. I see.
But I just do like basic stuff like bang fishing. Like I just like kind of do it as like
it just
therapeutic almost.
Yeah, it's very
Plus,
true.
when you do catch something.
Yeah, it's fun. I definitely grew up more on the fishing side of things because, like,
Same.
just playing football all the time growing up, like, all my weekends during the fall were all booked up. And then by the time the season was over in, like, November and whatnot, I was just, like, so just burnt out. I'm like, I just want to just kick it and just get ready for ski season and all that. But,
Definitely.
no, it's,
I feel like when I fish though, I consume so you have to consume a ton of alcohol and a ton of nicotine though.
Those
That's
are
what
the
gives you the
rules.
patience.
it's fishing is the only place where it's okay to drink beer at 7 a.m.
Yeah.
All right, the second that boat leaves the dock, you're open.
I never drink Fireball, but whenever we're out on the river at like 5 a.m. or whatever, I'm
It's
just like,
freezing fucking
Just
cold.
keep you warm.
warms you
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
which is nice.
We drank a little bit of Fireball when we were out at Moses like a couple weeks ago because I was with my buddy Jackson, my buddy Tyler, and we were camping out there. And oh god, it was so fucking cold. We'd wake up in the morning in like 26 degrees.
Jesus
And
Christ.
our waders, the first night
Sorry.
we were smart enough to put our waders inside the truck so they wouldn't freeze.
Oh fuck yeah.
The second
smart.
night we got kind of sauced and we kind of forgot about it, and so like waders, like there's a lot of slack in them, so you can. Oh, sorry.
No, you're good.
There's a lot of slack in them because you want to be able to move around and all that.
Right.
But my waders froze with like a complete straight leg, and so it took me like 15 minutes to just try and put on my waders because I could not. Bend them.
Jesus.
I
Not
got some.
rubber.
I got some chest waders from Cabela's, and they're the ones that have like the boots built into the neoprene.
Yeah, I have those too.
And fucking those things are so large, but like it works because you're never cold. But my buddies who we go with, they had a bunch of Sims gear, and those Sims gears are fucking nice because we had to hike like a certain place. We hiked like a mile in or whatever, and the boots on those built-in Cabela's ones are so fucking large. You have to like double sock or do whatever you can, or else you're just sliding around. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get it. I was in high school when this happened, so I was like, I'm gonna get myself a pair of Sims. And I looked at the price, and I was like, holy fuck. A chest
They're
wader is like
$1,500.
15.
Really?
Dude, it's like $600. The boots themselves are like 300, and you can get them, but they're usually more people can get more cold in them just because they're lighter material. But it just kind of depends on what you're necessarily doing.
Yeah. Now Sitka gear is freaking ridiculously expensive. Now
My dad's got a Sitka backpack that's like one of those waterproof ones. You
Yeah.
can like roll up and everything.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
just, stash the fish in there to hike out, which is pretty solid. But I mean, that shit is not cheap at all.
No, we ran into this guy when we were out in Moses Lake. He's just out there scouting and everything. And this guy was a professional hunter or something like that. He walks up to us and he is from head to toe just decked out in sick of gear. Like, and we get back later that night. We start looking at all the stuff they had, and just his waders alone were $1,000.
Yep.
And we're like looking at his jacket. There's like another $600 right there. Like his little neck scarf that he had. That was only $50, but like it was just like
For a scarf, for fabric though.
yeah. But
Yeah, it's expensive.
There's two things though. When
Yeah.
you see someone with that type of gear though, you're like, this dude's either super fucking good or he's straight ass, and he just wants to look the part.
That's like the guy that comes to the gym with a Kobe Bryant jersey.
Yeah.
You're like, are you actually Kobe?
Rick.
No,
Let's get more.
I get it though. That's hilarious.
Yeah, no, it's dude, yeah, hunting is it's a funny thing to do, but it's I will say when you're out there and you're out in the woods and all that, like we went right after the election and everything, and when everything was going all crazy and all that, and then I was sitting next to my buddy Jackson. I'm like, do you even give a shit who won the election right now? He goes,
Yeah.
absolutely not.
Yeah. No, definitely.
No.
Do you ever keep the bone marrow from your kills?
For bigger game, yeah, but for like small game, no.
So my dad just got a half cow, so he had some bone marrow and he gave me some, but I've never had it before.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a recipe, I was honestly just gonna look up Steve Ornella's recipe because I'm sure he had a decent one. But if you got one, I'm interested because I gotta cook this shit up.
Well, that's my dad. My dad knows how to cook stuff like that pretty well.
Sure. Do you eat liver and everything too?
Yeah, we keep just about everything. We try to, unless the liver got shot out or whatever, and all that. But we try to keep everything that we get from the animal.
So real quick, just to intervene. So you said you listened to Joe Rogan, right? Did you hear the podcast where the episode where he was talking about getting the bile from the?
Oh, from the they shoot the bile from the sac, the gallbladder,
Gallbladder.
onto raw meat, and it's like a tribal.
Yes, I do remember.
Fucking
Have you
shit's
done that?
No,
rank.
They were talking about like the buffalo, right?
Yeah.
From the Native Americans back in the that was Steve Rennell, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. He said it was
No.
kind of spicy.
Caliente. It just, I heard that and I was just like, no.
Yeah, you're like, I was with you, dog, until you said that, and now you can't.
Nah, I'd be down to try it, and if it tastes great, I'll do it again.
Right.
But
Right.
like, if it tastes just like bile,
Like what it is.
and for that reason, I'm out.
You're like, there's a reason why they call that's a word. That's an adjective and a noun. There's a reason.
I think some people watch Meat Eater and then they'll be like, "Oh, I can just Steve Ornella's eating raw meat. Let me just fucking do that too." And I'm like, "Okay, first of all, I feel like he's had a what the fuck do you get from eating undercooked bear? Starts with an S, I think. Here, hold on.
Not syphilis.
Undercooked bear
Not
specifically.
scurvy.
Yeah, because bears have this disease in them, and most of the time when you cook bear, I've had it before, and you have to cook it kind of like well done because
Gotcha.
you can actually consume the meat and actually get the disease that it'll carry. But I can't fucking think of what it's called.
Yeah, it's because bear eats. They'll eat trash. They'll eat rotten.
That's fair.
Yeah, they eat some pretty. It's like wild hog, like
Trichinosis. That's what it is.
trichinosis. That's you can also get that from pigs too.
No shit. Oh, I guess that's
Disease
fair,
that people
'cause those
can
things
get.
Fucking, they're nasty, dude. They're nasty fuckers.
Oh god, I've heard stories of like
I see what
like
you're
a
saying.
rancher like having a heart attack in his pig pen and like died, and then the pigs ate the rancher. Like they will eat anything.
Dude, my buddy and I in high school we trapped. You know what nutria are? So it's like a fucking nastier version of a beaver. I don't even know. And anyways, so we went through this phase. So they look like little like muskrat looking things.
Oh, okay.
And so we went through this phase. We were just like, we were interested in just trying a bunch of things. So we made nutria jerky, and I wanted to fucking throw up. That is the most disgusting thing you could do.
What do you think it's eating, dude?
I don't fucking know. We had no idea. We just caught something. And we're like, dude, this is. I feel like there's always a way
You should look
to
up-
cook something though to
Yeah.
enjoy it.
That
was not the way, though.
You gotta prepare, right? Because we went out to Camino Island, did some duck hunting out there, and we shot a lot of sea ducks. And so my buddy Tyler was like cooking up the sea duck, and he only brined it for like 24 hours versus like my mallard, which mallard takes pretty
Right.
good. I brined that for like 3 or 4 days, and then I eat it. This sea duck I'm probably gonna brine for a week, and he ate it after 24 hours, and he just sends me a Snapchat. He goes, "Yeah, this don't taste very good." I'm like, "Yeah, buddy, you probably didn't prepare right."
Probably could have told you it was gonna taste like shit.
Yeah, no, sea duck is, we shot a lot of buffleheads that day, and it was fun. They were fun to shoot and everything, but I'm going to try it this weekend, but I'm going to try it on, like, jalapeno poppers with, like, cream cheese wrapped in bacon and everything. And I'm like, okay, so you got to mix it a little bit with some stuff. You can't just.
That's something that makes me curious about that.
Oh, it's duck's very good.
Yeah, no, we've eaten duck. Well, I've eaten duck before.
Yeah.
And then, but never like that though. Like I've never hunted duck.
You know what HelloFresh is?
Yeah.
So we do that, and they actually had a duck breast meal for us, and it was like the second time I've had duck, but it was the first time that I've ever cooked it, and it's so good.
If you prepare, meat is one of those things. If you prepare any type of meat right, you can get it to taste good.
Right.
And my roommate Bryson, he's never been a fish guy, but I've like given him like ling cod, halibut, and everything. I'm like, yeah, try this. He's like, this is actually really good. I'm like, yeah, it's all about how you prepare the meat, especially with fish too. I mean, you can with salmon, I'll a little bit of garlic salt, a little bit of pepper. That's good.
Right.
With like halibut, I try and pan fry that in like garlic butter and everything. Put a little bit of spices on that because halibut's really good. But if you get someone that's not so into that fishy type of taste, then it can be kind of.
And I think sometimes so many people mask the taste of the fish itself that they're just pretty much eating like. I mean, you could obviously like deep fry anything; it's gonna fucking taste good. But
That's
like,
true.
I feel like sometimes they'll cook up ling cod or cook up halibut or fucking any type of deeper fish, and they don't like the fishy taste, so they're pretty much just consuming like pure garlic or pure butter, and it's just like sometimes that fishy taste is actually to me kind of nice. But
I like a hint. Of
yeah.
When it's like with anything. If you overpower anything, like if you have too much garlic, like the Mariners garlic fries, for
Right.
example, like,
Oh my god, yeah.
No girl wants to talk to you after that.
No.
If you have like too much of anything on anything, it's all about balance.
I'm definitely an over seasoner though. I'll season that shit up depending on what it is, but
Apparently, I'm a bland seasoner. But that's kind of takes me like that hits me right in my core. But at the same time, it's like, nah, fuck that noise. I just don't like sodium bombs.
That's true.
yeah.
But I mean, everyone has their vices with their salts and shit.
Half my family's from Louisiana, so I have had.
You know, Tom Segura wants to put a fucking wall just around Louisiana.
Fuck that guy.
Like what they have there is great, but like don't spread that dumb shit. I'm just kidding.
Right.
I'm just kidding. I'm just
Sorry
kidding.
to all my Louisiana family out there.
Oh yeah, because they're gonna tune in on this shit. Let's go.
They might. Louisiana is a fantastic state that has a lot of culture and everything like that, but it's also a very poor state.
Yeah.
So do you go gator hunting?
I have scouted for gators. I've like gone out like in the bayou and like seen gators and everything like that, but I've never gone gator hunting. No, I've had alligator and it tastes like
Good.
smoky chicken.
It does. It tastes like it's like smoky, kind of like a little bit chewier chicken. And I just know that because I also have family from Louisiana. Sorry, Grandma.
But yeah, no, it's gator's good. Have you ever been on Bourbon Street?
I have. Yes.
Have you ever partied on Bourbon Street?
No, I wasn't 21.
Yeah,
Gnarly.
It's like a shittier version of Vegas. It's
Oh,
just
God.
like I can last.
I bet it's gonna be a good time.
Oh,
we've been wanting to go to Mardi Gras for the last 2-3 years, me and my buddies, but we
Yeah.
just haven't been able to.
You want to be
Haven't found the
you
time.
want to be careful with Mardi Gras because my cousins are our age and they don't even go down to like New Orleans or Bourbon Street anymore for Mardi Gras because they're like, have you ever been in a really packed bar? I'm like, yeah. And they go, it's like that in the street. I'm like,
Yeah, that's not very nice.
nah,
That's rough.
Just bumping into everyone. So they go like around Bourbon Street and everything. But yeah, no, it's
I'm a tall guy, whatever.
yeah.
Air's pressure up higher. It is. That's a real thing, though.
That's true. But
Yeah.
Less people breathing in it.
Exactly. Yeah.
That makes sense. But yeah, no, I would like to experience it once, but probably never again. It's like,
Yeah.
'cause I can only do Bourbon Street for like when I'm partying there for like 2 or 3 days. I'm like taking me to my grandparents' house right now. Like, no, because that on that second or third day, the smell of cigarette smoke and stale beer just really starts getting to you.
That's fair. That's fair. But I have a feeling if I went to Mardi Gras that second or third day, I'd probably be like, I'd be like, no, I wouldn't be thinking about the beer. I'd be like, where am I? Where's my wallet?
I bet we would have had more fun at Mardi Gras if we went during college because you can consume alcohol at much smaller amounts now.
I can
Yeah.
build it up.
You build it up.
No, but that's true. We went to Cabo instead.
Yeah.
But we were going to go to Mardi Gras. It was a week off. Our spring breaks just didn't align with it. But
Yeah.
apparently the week after Mardi Gras is a hell of a time too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go.
It's right here.
You can go to Bourbon Street in freaking November and have a great time.
Yeah.
But it ramps up. Yeah, it definitely does ramp up in the March and everything. But yeah, I mean, I'm just happy those like really hard days of partying are behind us.
Yeah.
I couldn't take it anymore. Like I drink like a couple drinks now, and I wake up the next morning, and I'm like, good fucking god.
Yeah.
Not again.
Yeah, I feel that. I had a bottle of wine the other day. Had
Cheers.
some of that. Yeah, right. And you just wake up with a headache, and you're like, this is a disgrace. Could you imagine, like, I don't know, Watershed doing that right now, or fucking, like, you always find the energy to do it, but you'd feel substantially worse during that time now. But it was a cool time to experience it, because I'd rather experience it in, like, because some people don't go to college and don't ever get to experience that.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll experience it later, and I'm just like, that sounds like shit. Like, I can't imagine being 40 and I'm like, let's get fucking crazy, and you're drinking all Four Locos, fucking Potters. You're like, this is trash.
Like, tell me there wasn't a time in college where you woke up drunk on a Saturday, 10 weekends in a row. Let's say roughly, I don't know how fucking long, whatever term you school you went to.
It was about yeah. Well, I went to
Probably a few fucking times. And you didn't have shit to do on that Saturday. Now it's like Saturday you wake up, you're like, fuck, I'm hungover, but I still gotta do this, that, the other thing.
Did you like clean up crew? You just get trash at like 6 a.m.
Yeah, exactly. One time I saw a kid eat a moldy watermelon.
That kid probably has AIDS
That kid
now.
was his roommate.
No shit. Keen?
Chris Keen.
I lived with a autistic child.
You just expose him.
Yeah.
This guy Chris, fucking idiot.
First, last name, autistic.
It's okay. We have a good bond.
We can edit it, so let's just fucking go off the wire.
Nah,
Bomb on
fuck
Chris
it.
Keen.
Fuck it,
Bomb on
We're
him.
doing it live.
Do it.
Nah, I remember my last day in Pullman. I was driving out of Pullman. I'm like, wow, like I don't ever have to go back to that place ever again.
I remember when I left
Grant,
though.
you went to Pullman?
Yeah.
Oh,
I said we when I started.
Nope.
I said we met him at WCU, but I was like, I just did.
I was on the same campus as you for 4 years of my life.
Yeah.
What
I met
when
you
you graduated?
through CC, but I don't.
No, so CC was my neighbor down below.
That's right.
And then, and then I remember you rolled in. I think you were pretty fucking hammered. I was hanging out with CC and Kaylee.
Marcico?
Yeah, me and
She's
Kaylee.
cool.
Yeah, we went to the same high school.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. And I remember you walked in. You had that Patagonia.
Oh, that's why you said let's wear the Patagonia sweater. I was like, I don't think I have one. I get what you're saying now. Okay.
And I was like, dude, I have like the sick one. It's fucking sick. You're like, dude, that's sick. We hyped out, and then it was just like.
This is just a casual fucking drunk thing to do.
You guys
with
pull your
kids.
dicks and start screaming?
Nah.
The next thing you guys did?
I know,
No way.
I know your guys' mom loves me too, because I on Mom's weekend I came down there. She's like, "Hey, come meet my mom." I walked down there. I'm hammered. Like, hey, I'm Grant. I'm the neighbor boy, and that's the only thing that she knows me as is the neighbor boy. Yeah,
I mean,
that was a fun time. Except that one time Cece called Cougar Housing on us because apparently me and
oh my God, CC, if you're listening,
yeah, well, apparently what happened was me and Wheatley were wrestling upstairs, and I just catapulted him down, and apparently the force from me taking him down knocked her bookshelf in her room over. she
shouldn't have put that bookshelf there.
So I'm fucking saying. Sorry, Cease.
When you say neighbors, do you mean in dorms or do you mean?
Remember CP Cook Place? So just, across
that shit is fucking so expensive.
Dude, for what?
Where's
Cougar
Cougar Place?
It's right behind V Hall.
Right next.
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
That's like, yeah.
I think my rent was like 300, 400. I think it was 400. They were paying like 700 to 800.
Yeah.
I remember when I thought $500 for rent was expensive.
Yeah, right.
I should have just fucking lived in the nicest place. I was like, oh, because there was a place so close to fucking, anyway. Yeah, long story short, rent's too fucking expensive in Seattle.
Yeah, no, it's fucking.
Figure it out.
Yeah, but now we're gonna move somewhere else and be like, damn, okay, this is actually not that bad. Because I feel like some people here can pay like they're potentially pretty much paying fucking mortgages right now.
Dude, no, my coworker pays $1,900 a month for an apartment downtown, and I'm like, I know exactly how. Well, I don't know exactly how much, but like, you probably make about $55,000 a year. I was like, you shouldn't be doing that, sweetheart.
People try to impress people too much and buy shit.
What?
Yeah, no.
They're making $55,000 a year.
But she justifies it because like her commute's so short, and I'm like,
my commute's 20 minutes.
like I hear what you're saying, and that's true. But here's the other flip side of that: you would have some money for yourself. She's like, she doesn't have a car, and I'm like, she's like, I want to get a car, but I can't afford it. I was like, yeah, you should probably move. I don't understand it, but some people have different priorities, so therefore I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna move
say
back
it's-
to Oklahoma, to be honest.
You guys got a fucking. Your parents have a sick ass place.
No, that place was very fun in high school.
Yeah, I can imagine.
We had a good time.
Every time you post pictures, I'm like, fuck.
you know, we get like freaking herds of elk coming in there. We get black bear coming in there, deer. Every once in a while, I get a turkey and everything. But no, it's
No shit.
Yeah, oh, yeah. No, that was a fantastic place to do high school because we like live on 5 acres. Like, don't really have any neighbors, so we did like the prom pre-party and the prom after party at my parents' house, and it was just a damn good time.
I went to prom and got caught, and fucking my mom started crying. I was like, okay. My dad just called me a pussy. Let me just not say the first word I was going to say.
That's
Regrets.
Big regrets. That's funny. How was the transition, though, after Poland? You feel like, obviously, I feel like everyone also, too, when they leave Poland, they're like, oh, I'm high because you can come back for football games or whatever. And, like, that's one thing, but I feel like once you get to this side, you're like, I'm okay with not ever having to drive that road ever again.
Well, it was different because I did a 5th year because I'm just a genius. And
it happens.
And so when I left that place, I was so done. But then when I got back here, a bunch of my homies that I graduated in 4 years, a few of them were living out in Seattle, and for the first like 6 or 7 months, we were just raging face for like every single week.
On this side of the state, though?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, dude, I feel like it fucks you up so much more over here.
Grant, you should hang out more, dude. That's what we fucking do.
Well, because a few of my best friends, they live right across the street from Lions.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
sure.
Their sandwiches are fire.
Their sandwiches are pretty
Shout out Lions Deli.
They sold me beer right before this. Dude, no, there was one night, me and one of my good friends, Adam, we split off from the group, and whenever Adam and I split off from the group, our IQ goes down to 2. It's 1 for me, 1 for him, and he and I end up at Denny's in Cap Hill, like at like 3 in the morning or something. Spend $75 at Denny's. Go back to his.
Oh my god,
dude, we got like 2 entrees. We ate everything. We literally ate everything.
You can't be like, oh, I thought I was hungry. You're like, no, we fucking were. We slapped all of it.
We get back to his apartment, and and like right before we go in the door, I look at my phone, and it's 5 in the morning. I'm like, Adam, it's 5 a.m. He goes, no. I'm like, yeah.
It's like, is that why Denny's was the only place open?
Yeah. And then go to bed, go home the next day, and then next day was Sunday, and I'm hungover as fucking hell. And then Monday rolls around, I still feel like shit. Tuesday rolls around. Tuesday afternoon, I start feeling okay. And I call Adam, and I'm like, Adam, like, how are you feeling? He goes, dude, I feel like complete shit. Like, we can't be doing this anymore, man. He goes, no, we can't be doing this anymore. And we proceed to keep on doing it. But
I feel like everyone will hit that point in time, though, where they fuck up so many times like that. Because, I mean, I definitely have stories.
Yeah.
I walked a marathon one time coming back drunk because I didn't know where I was at.
Dude.
And it just takes a big moment to realize that you're a piece of shit and you need to figure yourself out.
Wait, I don't remember that story. How does it go?
Have you ever seen someone when they pull up like the Apple Watch activity?
Yeah.
So I have to download this, but I'll show you. So he used to live in West Seattle.
Yeah, I lived in West Seattle.
I actually like West Seattle a lot.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a good area, but now without the bridge.
I was thinking about moving over there because my commute would have literally been 5 minutes.
Yeah, like I used to commute from West Seattle to downtown, and I would bus, and it would take 30 minutes. Or if I drove, this was prior to COVID, obviously. Or if I drove, it was like 15 minutes.
No.
I just didn't have parking downtown, and I work in a lab, so I was like, I'm not going to pay $15 for parking every day. But
that's lunch. That's like buying lunch every single day.
Yeah,
That's
no, exactly.
quick.
Okay, Kyle, I'm going to tell the story.
Yeah,
This is how I remember
I'm
it.
trying to look up the app, but keep going.
So how I remember the story is, I don't remember most of it actually, but we got drunk at Ozzy's.
No.
Was
This
it
was in
Ozzy's?
Capitol Hill.
Ozzy's.
No, Ozzy's is over here.
Oh, it was Ryan House. Was it Ryan House?
No, it was.
Okay, it was Bar X. It's not the most important part of the story. It doesn't matter.
Was it that one lounge that's down there?
It was for Chris Campana's cousin or sister's birthday.
That's true. It was in what was that called? It doesn't matter. Okay, so we were at a bar in Cap Hill.
Yeah.
You would definitely know if you heard it. Trust. It's like super popular. It's by that big baseball field where Chop Zone was. It's like over in that area.
It's like mid-chop zone.
God, this
It's
is.
like it has like
Comet Tavern?
I don't know.
No, it
It's
wasn't
like-
a tavern. It was like a club.
But anyway, so we get so shit faced, and we all go back to his. We come back here to your place, right?
No. So they get in the Uber and they start going home, and I was with someone, and they thought I was just hanging out with him, and I was like fine for the night. So they get in the car and they leave. I apparently was very drunk going into the bar, and I just ordered like a fucking round of like 12 fucking.
Yeah, you're like, who wants shots? Or like drinks or something.
What the fuck is it? Jameson, or not Jameson, fucking Jaeger bombs. I bought like 12 Jaeger bombs for people, and I drank whatever I did. I don't know what I did, and all of a sudden I'm leaving, and I don't remember leaving. All I remember is I come out of my blackout and I'm walking next to a park at 4 a.m. and I was like, oh, okay, this is fucking strange. So then I'm like, I'll cut up, and I'm like, I don't know if I blacked out and was just laying on the ground somewhere for a couple hours, or if I was just walking this whole time. But I'm in my street clothes, or the night clothes from the night before, and it's raining, so I look like a crackhead. So like and I had my Apple Watch on before it died. I look for my phone. I don't know where my phone's at. I couldn't figure out where it's at. So on a normal day, it'll rotate over like that.
Yeah.
Well, this was the day before. God damn it! This was the day before.
So this wasn't that long ago.
This was November of 2019.
That's a year ago.
Yeah, so this was before my Apple Watch died.
Mm-hmm.
And
holy fuck, dude.
So I worked out for 250 minutes before my shit like actually died, and I took 44,000 steps and walked 20.5 miles. So from 5 a.m. to 11 a.m., I get back here and I'm walking, and I'm like, so I just moved up here in September. that September.
It's
so
not. It's like a 10-minute walk.
I had
a 10-mile
no idea
walk.
where I was
So
at.
that means that he.
I was
not,
making loops.
He was lost.
I was making loops,
So
and I
lost.
finally got to a point where Safeway opened, and I was like, fuck yes. And I went and got a burrito, and I was like, this is the best shit of my entire life. Ate that fucking burrito, and then I start walking around, and all of a sudden it's early enough, so now people are starting to run. So we got like the old ladies out there. I'm like, what's up? I'm like, hey, ma'am.
Hey, mama, you got a phone I can borrow?
Do you have any idea where I only knew what Mercer Street was? I was like, do you know where Mercer Street was? She goes, oh, honey, you're going to want to bus there. I was like, motherfucker, I don't want to hear that right now. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to walk, because you know how like when you get close to the ocean or the beach or whatever, there's less trees. So I'm like, I'm going to search for like less trees, because that means I'm at a body of water.
Dude,
So I start walking. I get back here, and Jackie,
that's ridiculous.
who I used to live with, she was like, hey, what's up? And I was like, don't fucking talk to me. I feel like a piece of shit right now. And I walked, I had Vans on, and like I had a callus that was the whole middle part of my foot. And so then all of a sudden I'm like, dude, can you call the guys in West Seattle? I have no idea where my phone. Oh no, I shared my location with her, so she was like, oh, it's in West Seattle. So then I go over there, and
you
I'm
texted
like,
me, and you're like,
yeah, I'm like,
is my
where's
phone there? I was like,
phone
yeah,
there?
it's
They're like,
here.
yeah. I'm like, how to get this? No one has any idea.
Like, we have no
everyone,
clue.
Everyone was so fucked up.
We don't
on,
remember
like,
him
the
being
same
there.
level, but like I just decided to walk
but
marathon.
we remembered you in the car. Like everyone remembered him in the car ride there, but no one remembered him being there.
Well, because as soon as my other buddy Ryan
Like, he
Greger,
was in the car, did he just
got
jump
into
out?
the Uber with everyone, and then he got out and ran away. And then they're like, "What the fuck are you doing? Get back in the car!" So he gets back in the car, and somehow he gets back here, and then decides to drunkenly order an Uber to West Seattle to go sleep there. So I'm like, okay. And then this motherfucker drives over with Mike, our friend Mike. Last names are really got to watch out for.
You're the one that said every single time someone said a last name.
It's been me for sure. And so all of a sudden we get back here, and then like obviously we wore boots for work and everything. And so the next day I woke up and I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me! I put these boots on, and it was nasty. I get home the next day and my fucking boot is just filled with blood, and I was like, fuck yeah, this is a sign. I should probably not be a retard. Where are we at right now?
You had to work
then-
the next day.
Yeah.
That's why you left, dude. I cannot think of why you wanted to leave. I was like, why would he walk all that way? It's because you had to work. That shit is too.
I mean, if I
weird.
like, I don't know.
You didn't get back till 11 a.m., so you didn't go to work that day, did you?
No, this was Saturday night, so
Oh,
I
I
got
see what
back
you're saying.
Sunday.
Okay.
So then I was
Now I follow.
fucking trying to find my phone. So I finally get back to our house at like 2 p.m. on Sunday, and I'm like, cool, I got
Gotcha.
some time to relax. I just I don't sleep a lot, and I just literally just slept for like 14 hours, and I was like, okay, that's probably needed. Then I'm going to work, and I'm just like, and you're walking around job sites and everything. It's not fucking flat. You're walking on hills and everything, like parking garages. So I'm like, okay, this sucks. But I'm like, I just started like the job kind of, so I was like, I need a bitch though. And internally, I'm like, I'm fucking dying inside. So I was like, I need some alcohol or something. And then, yeah, long story short, it just takes, I feel like everyone after college will get that time span of getting fucked up thinking, because Pullman, you can just walk back anywhere. I tried that. I don't recommend it here.
Yeah, because in Pullman, you can. Well, I was called to the black and stumble. You black out and stumble home. But like here, it's like
I always call.
But you always knew how to get home.
Yeah,
You would just show up and you're like, how the fuck?
Colorado Street, take a left, you're there. And here, it's just like if you get Pullman drunk in Seattle, you're not gonna have a good time. You're for some reason you're gonna wake up like 3 times more hungover, and for 2 you're gonna spend probably about 3 times the amount of money. because every drink at the bar here is $15,
Right.
and you got to think about your Uber to and from. So I mean, there's been nights I've come out here and spent like $225.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
I think a big problem with that is they're like drunk to like your happiness the next day. It's like you have to get so shit faced here. If like, man, I hate it so much. If you get shit faced in Pullman, you wake up, okay, you're hungover, you know, whatever. You made a mistake.
Yeah.
Here, if you get actually shit faced, you like say you're $225 down and nothing's going well for you. But the scary part is, even in fucking Seattle, when you get $50 drunk, you still wake up and a fucking like some shit happened and it's like still a bummer. And you're like, I wasn't even that fucked up.
Seattle sucks, dude.
Seattle fucking.
Dude, I went to that bar twice.
I stumbled through that, but
I never go back in the
Fucking
second time.
ridiculous.
I had to run it back. And I was celebrating my old roommate's friend's birthday party, and I didn't know anyone there, so I was like, of course I'm getting really fucked up, so let's go. So then we go back to that bar, don't remember anything, and apparently I was laying in the doorway of the bar, of the club, and 6 cops were just like, get the fuck up, and then they were going to supposedly take me to jail.
You were laying in the barway of a club?
I don't get, when I get sloppy, like, I'd never heard of that before, so then I was like, I don't know if you're real, but I have nothing to judge it off of, so like, I have to believe it. So apparently I was laying down in the doorway, and these 6 cops pull up, and they're just like, get the fuck out or something. They said they were going to, my friends were like, they're going to take you to jail or whatever, and then the birthday chick came over, and I was like, no, he's with me, he does this all the time, and I was like, okay, thanks.
I was just going to say you do that shit all the time, and I have a photo on my phone of you laying in the doorway over there, face down.
Dude, we had a friend come over, and I
dude.
blacked out, and I was excited to see him, and then
Doesn't happen
apparently he was
often,
just
but when it does.
suplexing me in my bed, and I wake up the next day, and he goes, dude, are you all right? And I was like, I'm just blacked out, it's fine. He goes, I was bodying you in your bed. And I go, I don't feel anything. And he goes, yeah, that's exactly what he's doing. And then I was like, okay, like to a point where our friends that were here, like some of the girls were like, this is weird and uncomfortable, so I'm going to leave. So apparently it was bad. And I was just like, now I know that I should just never go back to that place. And I haven't, and we've been fine since. So.
I was there, and I could say that to whom you're referring to was just acting kind of strange. But I think there were some different things in his system that were kind of persuading him to act a certain way. And that's, but
that's fair.
I don't think it was anyone specifically except him and
Yeah.
the booger sugar.
Yeah. Ooh.
Can you explain what that is?
No, I cannot.
So he has what I call a chemical imbalance whenever that happens. I've had a few friends before that have had some pretty bad yet really hilarious chemical imbalances, and oh Jesus, dude! Like for sake of autonomy, I'm gonna use his nickname. So Dale.
I should start doing that to people.
Fucking Dale.
Oh well, that's what his middle name is, but that's what
So now we know his middle name.
well, yeah, try and figure that one out. That's what his middle name is, and that's also what his drunk alter ego is.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
Dale, we're
I
at
think my drunk alter ego is Floor.
Well, Dale one night, this is when we were probably like sophomores or juniors in college. We're at my buddy Jackson's house, and we're getting pretty hammered. And Jackson, he had a ton of like just edible chocolates, right? And so Andrew starts getting we're playing Snap in the garage and everything. And Andrew starts just getting really shit faced, starts eating these.
So there's Anders.
Oh fuck!
Anders Dave was going for you, boy.
Sorry, Dale. So Dale starts eating these.
That shouldn't have happened. My bad on the clap. All right, keep going.
Starts eating these chocolates, just like freaking just pop them and everything. And Jackson's parents are home. Yeah, I'll take the one. Jackson's parents are home, and his parents are chill. Everything, and, like, no one else was like that fucked up except for Dale. And dude, and he comes.
He's just that one.
Dude, it was bad. He comes into the kitchen and he was all just chatty because I hadn't hit him yet. It hits him when he's in the kitchen. He grabs onto the countertop and grabs onto the railing of the oven and just is standing there and goes, "Woo!" And I'm like, dude, what the fuck's going on?
So now he's Chewbacca in this moment.
Pretty much, yeah. And it starts hitting him. He's super fucked up. He goes to the bathroom. We don't see him for like 30 minutes, and Jackson's mom goes to sleep. And We're all 21 at this point, just for clarification. And Jackson's mom, she comes running downstairs. Jackson, what the fuck is that banging noise? He's like, I have no idea. We're like, where the fuck's Andrew at? He's sitting up in the bathroom trying to stand up, pulling his pants on, just headbutting the wall. Just boom, boom, boom. Jackson walks
So he's
in.
a smart guy.
He's actually really fucking. That's the thing. He's a freaking genius. And so get him all fucking dressed up and everything. Wants to go out on the deck. We're like, all right, whatever. I go find him on the deck. He is literally like, the deck's going up like this. He is just on top of it, like feet off, just puking over the edge. Take him back, pull him back inside, trying to go put him to bed. It's pouring rain outside. He gets so hot, strips down into his underwear, and just goes and lays in the grass in the pouring rain. And we end up having to pull him back inside. And the next morning, we're like, Andrew, you had a chemical imbalance last night. He's like, yeah, I know.
That seems to happen a lot
Dude,
in Poland.
fuck, man. I mean, it didn't used to hit as hard as it does now.
I feel like it kind of just goes for college. You know,
Yeah, I feel like-
your liver doesn't know what it's getting into.
I feel like now my biggest hangover is guilt the next day, and I'm
Dude,
like,
yeah.
So
That's why I really don't
And
like
then-
getting drunk.
I don't
And
know.
you
I
go
kind of. I mean, honestly, sometimes when I'm getting drunk, I'm like, I'm gonna be hungover at work tomorrow because I work at the bar on the weekends.
Mhm.
I'm like, so what? Doesn't really faze me sometimes. But I feel
I
like
mean-
that's what I'm saying. If you get that level of shit face, though, doesn't matter who you are, what kind of mindset you're in, you feel like shit the next day.
I would also prefer to like get drunk and then, if I get drunk and then go to work the next day or do something active the next day, it's like I'd rather feel like shit for a little bit and just power through to not like sweat it all out as opposed to just sitting around all day, because then you just significantly feel worse and worse throughout the day.
That's
like,
true.
Yeah, it's like you shit your pants and you're just sitting in your pants. That's what
true.
it fucking feels like.
I've never shit
I've
my
never-
pants
yeah.
on that.
Oh, neither
But-
have I. But if I were to shit my pants, I feel like it would feel like that. You know.
Being hungover?
Well, no, being hungover, not sweating out all the booze out of your system.
So for clarification purposes, you have or you have not shit your pants.
I have never shit my pants.
We can change that.
Okay. I'm game.
What?
This podcast is getting wild.
Mm.
Let's not
It's
do
the
it.
power of Modelo and White Claw.
Damn straight.
And Kyler being a fruit cup. I have nothing
Agreed.
again. No, I'm just kidding. I do.
But now that we actually are responsible more so than we were in college.
I am way more responsible now than I was in college.
Yeah, I also feel like now when you have a night where you spend like $200 plus or whatever, and it's a large amount of money, the next day you're like not feeling like cooking anything, so you just order more food. So then
Yeah.
that weekend turns into like a
$400,
$300,
yeah.
$400 weekend. You're like, fuck yeah, I would love to keep doing this. I feel fantastic.
Yeah, what I've learned now is I just DD. Like go out to the bar, maybe have like one or two
Oh,
drinks.
just I
drive.
DDD.
Yeah, no, Jesus Christ.
No, I'm just kidding.
The
The
hangover.
police officer out there, do not listen to this. No, but I just DD now because I'm just like, fuck. Well, I don't want to be hungover. I don't want to spend that amount of money, and I'm probably not going to have that much fun. Anyway, if
And you
I
can
am-
leave whenever you fucking want to. That's
I got
so
the keys,
key.
assholes. Get in the fucking car. Yeah. No,
And if
that's
they don't apply to that, they're just like, all right, well, I'm leaving regardless.
Uber home, fucker.
And Ubers are not cheap, but
I mean, that's probably about 25% of your cost.
you know,
Yeah, that's fair. I've always been the person that wanted to stay forever. Because I mean, now I'm like I'm ready to go. But like even when I first started living with you, I was always the person that I'm staying until like 3:00 just because.
we saw too
I'm
many
the
sunrises.
worst person trying to give a ride to. So
You
I
see
can't
too
do
many
that.
sunrises in college, you just are over it. You don't want to see them again anymore.
I
Yeah,
like
that's
doing
fair.
it maybe once a year.
Yeah.
I stay up way
maybe
too much.
once a
I
year.
try like once a week.
Jesus
No,
Christ.
I'm
I do.
Let's say
I fell asleep last night at like 4 a.m.
Yeah, get a CPAP machine.
But I didn't wake up till like 8, so it was like I'll go to sleep early.
That's nice.
A CPAP machine.
Yeah.
Do you have a CPAP machine?
No. He was just saying, he sees, I figured you meant you see the sunrise because you have insomnia or whatever, so I was like,
Yeah.
let's get a CPAP machine.
What's a CPAP machine?
It's like a sleeping aid for people who have
Yeah.
insomnia, but it's like a
Well,
mask. It doesn't.
okay,
Okay,
It's-
no, that's what I thought you were talking about. But
it's for fat people and it's for people that do have insomnia. So you'll see them like a lot in movies where it's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the full
no.
face mask.
I know what you're talking about. It's like a
Yeah,
Not true.
pretty much so. But
We're on to bigger and better things, though.
damn straight, fuck. Yeah, I'm on the arena right now.
What's the
No
arena?
shit.
Yeah, key arena,
Oh really?
You were for PCL, right?
PCI.
PCI.
What does PCI do? What do you guys?
So we're a specialty subcontractor, so we're not when you think of contractors, so he's also a specialty subcontractor as well, HVAC mechanical systems. So general contractors, if you're going to hire someone to build this building as a general contractor, they would focus on the building as a whole.
Right.
Whether I focus on the parts and pieces. So PCI has two divisions. They have our interior division, and then they have our insulation division. I'm on the insulation side. So I focus on HVAC, plumbing and piping installation, fire stopping, scaffolding. We have a division that does demolition. We have a division that does marine hull installation. But then our interior group focuses on metal stud framing, drywall, acoustical ceiling tiles, fireproofing, clean room technologies, and that type of stuff.
Gotcha, a bunch of stuff.
Actually, my division, the installation division.
You PM?
No, PE. No, I ain't smart enough to be a PE. There's so
Don't
much.
sell yourself short.
Dude, that's just the experience thing. I mean,
We'll get there.
I was running through a bid with my pre-com manager last night, and he goes, well, you forgot about this. Read this spec right here that you forgot about. I'm like, oh, Jesus, Murphy.
Yeah, right.
But it's funny because, so what's your title right now?
I mean, you can pretty much just call it technician at this point.
Okay, so when you move up the rank at HP, then I can take you out and go golfing and stuff.
Yep.
Yep, that'll be a good time.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, he's technically Holiday Parks is like my customer.
Gotcha.
Yeah. No, that's what I do. It's a cool job. We do a lot of big commercial projects, a lot of industrial projects.
Do you ever deal with Berg Electric?
Berg Electric, no.
Those guys are ridiculous.
Like bad or good?
So bad. There's so many issues that comes with them, and I guarantee you there's no one working with Berg Electric that will tune into this shit. So fuck them. They are ridiculous, dude.
Fair call.
Dude, and that's the thing about the construction industry is that word gets around.
Yeah.
Word gets around really
You're shitty to
fast.
work with.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, I feel that.
And-
It's the same way in my industry.
Yeah, what do you do?
I work in like chemical engineering with, it's like a
Okay.
cannabis production company.
Okay, cool.
So like I just work with like emulsions, which is like just mixing
Yeah.
mixing things that shouldn't naturally be able to get mixed essentially in like
Okay.
products and stuff.
Okay.
And some of the people that you work with are just completely like just
How'd you get
ridiculous.
here?
Just ridiculous. Like there was this one company that wanted to get into like the THC. They wanted like a 2-ounce energy drink, right? And they fucking drink it. Like we make like 20 samples from them. Like we hate them all. And they're like, can you go fucking, have you tried any of the other ones on the market? They try and they're like, oh my God, the first one you gave us was like amazing. And this was after like 6 months of work and like $200,000 lost. I'm like, you're fucking retarded. I'm sorry. Did I just go in?
No.
But you get what I'm saying though. It's like
No.
words of like you like a bad rep, especially within a company. It's like that spreads.
See, I don't have a problem.
infectious.
I don't have a problem with any one of my customers. Across the board, all our customers are fantastic.
Politician. That was a political.
They're the best, the biggest contractors you've ever seen.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but
Biggest.
The problems I do run into are typically with public work. And
Gotcha.
There are a lot of just public jobs. They are by the book. When the sun goes up to the sun goes down. It seems like they don't want to learn. So you try and spell stuff out for them that a kindergartner can understand, and they'll kick it back and be like, wait.
So who are you speaking to, like specifically like, in this process? Like who are you referring to, like the doorman, or like?
I reserve the right to remain silent during this time.
Fair enough. I get what you're saying though.
No,
That can be ultra frustrating.
No, it really can. And with public work too, it's like, you know how like federal agencies have a budget every single year.
Mm-hmm.
They spend the amount of money that they can to reach that budget, so they'll prolong everything.
Oh, yeah.
They will spend the most expensive thing, even though if it doesn't even need it, and it's frustrating because it's like they have no incentive to perform, to be better, because they're the government. I mean, they're going to get that money regardless. They have to
Right.
turn over a report at the end of the year that says we
Exactly.
spent X amount of money, so we need the same amount of money that you guys gave us every single year.
Yeah.
Like one of our fire stoppers, he used to work in a airplane hangar for the Air Force, and they got this part in one day, and it had like a $500 price tag on it. He's like, I can find this at like Ace Hardware
Yeah.
for $15.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Sorry.
so the government bought this part for $500 so they can help just inflate that money and go ahead and reach their budget, which is it's extremely frustrating because that's all tax dollars,
Yeah.
and it's why tax dollars are so ridiculous. And
That's a communistic part of our government.
yeah, no, it
Naturally,
really is.
because then it's like it's government oriented inflation.
Yeah.
I just know that whole story because I used to work in federally funded research.
Yeah.
And it was the same thing. It's like, oh, we have to spend this much money. We would literally get a storage unit just to store the extra shit because they had to give us this money because guess what? We have a bigger project next year. But if we don't spend this money today,
They're not gonna
we don't get that money next year, but we need it
Yep.
next year. So
Yeah.
you spend that money on fucking anything, you put it in a closet. It's
Well,
ridiculous.
Kyler, I have a question for you. Why would you insulate a lined duct?
I don't deal with that. But why would you
Why would
insulate
you
it?
insulate a lined duct, a sound line duct?
I mean, I would.
There's no reason to, right?
I can't. I mean, I don't know the answer to that, but I don't know why you would have to insulate a duct.
Yeah, insulate like a sound line duct. The answer is that there's no really reason.
What is a duct?
Like a supply air duct?
So
return air
like
duct.
when you're at like a building, you have like these fat cube
I
metal.
mean, I know what it is.
Okay.
Yeah,
But it's just a,
but like
I was making sure. But I mean,
Yeah.
just because.
well, so
someone
you
made
want to
it.
insulate it so it holds its R value, so it doesn't lose any heat or any cooling throughout its system and everything.
Yeah.
And I was working on this bid recently for a federal project where they asked for us to insulate a lined duct with a very like 2-inch thick rigid board insulation, which is super expensive for the material alone. It's like almost like drywall, and it's extremely expensive to put on as well. And they know this, and they were doing this so they can actually go ahead and meet their budget. You know, 'Cause,
Right,
It
okay.
turns
Because it doesn't make it any worse, and they can spend the money.
exactly. Well,
That's
it
ridiculous.
turns like, let's just for sake of easy numbers, it turns like $100,000 job into like a $250,000 job, and it's like it's all this stuff that now that I'm actually into all this that I see where it's like
So you overlook all the floor plans.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I also see a lot of numbers too, and it's like, what is it? It's like I want to say 60% of our labor cost is so you have your labor cost, so $100,000.
Right.
So an extra $60,000 on top of that is for your labor, it's for your fringes and taxes and your union and all that type of stuff.
Right.
So when people ask me like, "Oh, why is construction all expensive?" I'm like, "It's your fringes and taxes that we have to incur on as a contractor that we have to then."
You know how hard it is to get the permits to build anything, any fucking where,
It's
or do
freaking
anything
crazy.
like specialty.
It's
so
freaking
fucking
crazy.
expensive.
It's freaking crazy, and yeah, I think the number one thing I've learned through me being out of college and like through all this COVID thing is I hate big government. I just
Yeah.
I really
And then like the average person doesn't realize why people that work
Yeah.
construction don't like
yeah
the government, like very
Yeah.
heavily involved.
yeah no. There's
It's-
a reason that
yeah.
we don't like the government.
Yeah.
It's because we see where they rip the average American person off at every single corner. And
Yeah.
it's like yeah, if we go
Naturally.
yeah,
Government's
naturally. It's like
It's not new though in that sense.
No, it's definitely not new. I mean, like any politician that says I promise, they never keep their promise.
Yeah.
Like, they never really do.
Yeah. It's literally their job.
Yeah, no, exactly. And it's I don't know. I think in the next probably about 10 to 15 years, we're going to see either a big shift in a good way for the government or a big shift in a bad way for the government. I think we're going to be at a fork.
I'm
Yeah,
counting
there's no
on
need.
good. I'm counting on
I'm
good.
really
starts,
hoping-
with, starts with everyone individually though.
It really does. No, and that's what.
And it's such a like a small thing, but it
Yeah.
also kind of be like, oh, okay, sure, whatever.
Mhm.
But
That's exactly true.
Influencing
That's
people
why we
the
had the most amount of people ever vote in this last election.
Yeah.
Because people started to realize that, like, oh yeah, my vote actually matters, like all that type of stuff.
yeah,
Yeah. No.
I think the biggest thing that I hate too going out of college is just knowing that not everyone will work and have the same work ethic as you do. It's so frustrating.
That is frustrating.
or the same
Yeah.
mindset where like I'm trying to better myself. Some people are super content with just like,
Which you can't really dog
I mean,
them
but
for.
maybe not
but
like
I
maybe
don't wanna
not,
be around 'em.
but subconsciously
I gotta go
people are
here.
even when they're not.
I mean, you can just call her out too.
Nah, we'll wait. So Kyler, can you count the ABCs backwards?
No.
You can't.
No.
God, it's just stupid. How about 10 to 1
Is this
backwards?
This is what we're
like
talking
1 to
about?
10 backwards. This is what we are talking about. This is reality.
Our coconut mammals.
They're furry. They give out milk.
They give out milk. That's all right. We're not. I don't know if.
Do you want to spark a joint right now?
Yes, let's do it.
No, I'm just kidding.
No,
Holiday parks.
no. I mean, if they actually thought I did, they could just drug test me and know that I'm gonna come back clean. So.
They'd have to watch this. To this point in time. That's
That's
a mighty
our
fucking...
average listening minutes are like 5 minutes. But hey, it's better than 0.
That's true. That's true.
We actually do need to start getting pictures with our guests though, so we actually have something to post. So I don't just post the stupid YouTube.
Yeah.
But we also could just screenshot a video at any time. I realized too.
We could do that because there's always a point in like the videos when we're watching it where we're all like laughing, and then it's like, oh, that's so fucking jolly right there. It's Christmas season. It's a fucking Christmas season.
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
That's funny.
You wanna?
Yep.
You wanna do the rap ski?
Rap ski?
Wrap it up.
Yeah.
Got to put it on before you take it off.
Exactly.
What?
That's what I'm fucking saying, man.
No, we'll probably wrap it up though. We had some good topics for not having
Anytime.
a guide.
Yeah,
See,
exactly.
It flows a lot more smoothly sometimes because, like, granted, when we first started, I was so focused on transitioning to the next topic, it always sounded so like scripted. I was like, this just doesn't sound good.
It'll get better with time. Also listening to it. It's been a really good time.
Yeah, for
Appreciate
sure.
having you
dude,
on. Nice meeting you
appreciate
too.
putting
You're a fucking man,
It was a
dude.
good time.
Nice to meet you. How long did we do this for?
Hour 15 maybe?
That's not too bad.
Hour 20?
About hour
No.
15.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to come back. We'll we can do this on weekends so we can get a little bit more crazy.
We'll talk about aliens next time. We
Oh shit, that's right. Yeah.
We didn't even get to aliens now.
Let's just go discover them. We'll report back.
Take a look at
Yeah, we're gonna go Bigfoot hunting and alien hunting, and we'll report to you guys next time.
Next time I come here, I'm gonna do my homework on all the aliens, and we'll get deep into it.
There you go.
We'll get deep into it.
All right.
Final words.
One last cheers though.
Cheers, boys.
There we go.
That was
Cheers,
pretty.
bud.
That was pretty hallmark.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty hallmark. All right. Thanks for joining the Head Start podcast.
Yep.
Stay clean.
Use a condom.